Hey guys, hey, it's your girl Brandy today. Happy MLK Day, guys. Happy MLK Day. Today we observe Martin Luther King's birthday. Of course, let me just make this quick note because I think sometimes people get confused. People get confused. Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday is January 15th. His observance is the Monday following January 15th, okay, which is this Monday. So today is not his actual birthday, but this is the day that is nationally set aside to observe his birthday. Martin Luther King's birthday is January 15th. So I feel like people should really keep that in mind. Do a lot of posting on January 15th, and let's post for today in observance of his birthday. Okay, we doing all things on today. Okay, so with that, I'm off work. Okay, so I've been busy catching up on shows. I've been busy getting prepared for the Real Housewives and Married to Medicine live that myself and Housewives from a Housewife Azara will be doing today at 2 p.m. So make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you hit the bell notification so that you can be notified when I do go live. But we will get into a full review then for Real Housewives of Potomac. Until then, we just gonna talk about what's been going on in these streets, okay? In these reality TV streets. Because a little tea done dropped. I woke up this morning, honey. I watch Real Housewives and Married to Medicine. I watch them on Peacock. So I do not catch the live viewing from Bravo. I don't have any, I use all streaming. So I don't have any, I guess, real cable. So I watch it the next day on Peacock. I get up this morning, honey, so I can get into the show, see what happened last night. And the first thing I happen to see when I go check YouTube is Karen Huger has announced that she is leaving. Let me see. I wonder how can I want to be able to get my face over to the other side. No, I don't like that. Okay. Oh, well, we'll keep it this way. Yes, but anyhow, let's get into this. So the very first thing I see this morning before I could even get good and into this episode of Real Housewives of Potomac, honey, is an alleged announcement that Miss Grand Dame herself, Karen Huger, has decided to exit from the Real Housewives of Potomac. This is the post that is going around allegedly. Um, it is allegedly the announcement of Karen Huger's exit. These are the things I want to note as I picked up on this particular announcement. I don't know any true quotations, right? So it does not feel like an actual quote. So I'm not sure if this is unofficial at this point, and maybe a source close to Karen Huger has leaked that information, but this is what the announcement is saying. After much thought and reflection, I have made the difficult decision to step away from the Real Housewives of Potomac. This journey has been nothing short of extraordinary, filled with unforgettable moments, personal growth, and of course, plenty of Grand Dame energy. I am forever grateful to my loyal fans, Bravo, and my amazing castmates for the memories and the support over the years. While this chapter may be closing, my story is far from over. I am excited to focus on new opportunities, my family, and continuing to elevate my brand in ways that reflect my passion and purpose. Thank you all for your unwavering love and encouragement. The Grand Dame is not going anywhere, just evolving. Stay fabulous and always remember, class and grace never go out of style. Kudos to Miss Coco Chanel for that right there. If you know anything about Coco Chanel and her quotes, you know that's just one of them. Okay, a girl must be two things, classy and fabulous, and class and grace never go out of style. And it doesn't, okay? To Karen Huger's point, it does not. So again, like I say, just analyzing this that's circulating over the internet. Now, not what I have noted also is that the major blog sites like Jasmine Brand, the Shade Room, those are the two main ones that I'll point out. They have not released anything that they have not released anything that corroborates the fact that Karen will be leaving. But this is what I'll say. It seems a little bit on brand, right? Of course, I went over to Karen's Instagram because I wanted to see, was it on her own page. And as you can see, just from those last posts that's at the top of her profile, there had not been anything recently posted, nor is there not a story up in her stories. So I'm not really sure where that information actually is coming from. Why is my I don't know, I want this to go down some more. Yeah, I'm not really sure exactly where that information may be coming from. So it is still alleged at this point. But let's just discuss. It seems on brand, right? I think that is on brand for Karen to possibly make that exit. And I think while I don't know, I did not predict that Karen would make her own exit. Okay. What I did predict was Karen would not want to be held accountable or responsible for what is happening. Excuse me. Wait, I feel a little flustered and hot, y'all. Wait a minute. Let me start over. Okay. I'm thinking I'm thrown off because my computer is not really acting right and I'm not able to move this stuff around the way I want to. Let's do this. I don't know. Okay, wait a minute. Let me try another thing, y'all. Hold on. Am I back? Am I back? Okay. Well, oh, I wonder if okay, no, everything is still there. Okay, this is better. All right, so back to Karen Huger and her exit. Okay, like I said, it has not been confirmed. I went to Karen's Instagram. I don't see any posts on her Instagram or even in her stories that corroborate the fact that she has decided to make her exit. I went to Jasmine Brand. I do not see anything on Jasmine Brand or the Shade Room that validates the fact that Karen is leaving. So as of right now, I do think that's just something buzzing in the streets. I don't know where that statement has come from either, because again, if you look at the statement, there is not a statement those are not quoted. That's not a quoted statement. That's not a quoted statement. That sounds like or looks like something that somebody just made up, right? However, as we know, Karen did. She did miss the Real Housewives of Potomac reunion that was filmed 2 Thursdays ago. And at that time, we then found out that Karen skipped the reunion and entered rehab. And again, the timing, I did a video on this. The timing for me is probably what I'm most interested in because I think the timing just kind of lets me know what the intent is. Okay. And what I mean is that, because let's go back to Karen's profile. Let me show you something really quick. These last two pictures, not the pen, but the last two pictures that we see. There's a photo of her, and I'm not sure who that person she's with. And then there's a reel next to that. That reel was a reel of her with different housewives. Kathy Hilton of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills hosted a holiday party. She invited all of the Bravo celebrities. Most of them did attend. A lot of them were posting from the party, from the holiday party. And so, again, that was on December 17th. And shortly after that is when the footage was released of Karen's DUI stop. And of course, that footage was very damning, very embarrassing. And I could just imagine Karen is more than willing to go crawl in a hole somewhere until this goes away. However, because the show is currently running, and we still have to get through the reunion, this is not going away anytime soon. Okay. What I did predict in a previous video was, since she's in rehab, she has to do at least 30 days unless she takes herself out. So, with that being said, I imagine that Andy Cohen would set up a 101. We've seen him do that with a few of the housewives in the past, with Teresa and Joe Giudice, are the first ones that come to mind because they had actually been incarcerated. And in Teresa Giudice's case, they actually stopped filming during her incarceration. She was incarcerated for a year and a day, I believe it was. And they actually stopped filming until she was released, and then they picked up the filming schedule. But also, that was the first time I remember and recall us having a one-on-one interview with Andy Cohen and with the housewife, just checking in on everything going on. So, of course, with that, I just imagine that would be kind of the course that Karen would take, because if you are going to stay on the Housewives, I do think that there is an interview that you have to have with somebody. And if you're going to have it with anybody, I'm assuming it would be Andy Cohen, because you probably would expect him to respect your boundaries and also have a small bit of protection about what he's going to try to get out of you, right? As opposed to coming back in and starting to film with your castmates, that as we're seeing the episodes air, you really was coming for them girls. And once that footage got released, it kind of like, honey, I know Mia, Jacqueline, everybody but Giselle and Wendy, is ready to like pounce on you. And especially because they've been through so much. Ashley, Mia, well, Jacqueline is a non-MF factor, but we'll just include her because whenever Mia's name is named, we just got to include Jacqueline, right? She like the mole on the side of Karen's face. She ain't going nowhere. However, so to me, it's a little bit on brand that she would decide to step away, because that just absolves her totally from answering to the fans and from answering to her castmates. We're gonna get into the review, like I said, at 2:00 with Housewives from a Housewife. But I'm just gonna point this out. This past episode, again, and the 2 episodes previous, has been 2 episodes, I believe, that came out since Karen's footage has come out. And each week, Karen has said something to one of her castmates that really would make me say she needs to eat crow after that video was released, because girl, you really had a lot going on. And so we'll discuss her kind of calling Mia out about the paternity of her children, because Ray and Gordon had a conversation, and so she took that information she got back from Ray and confronted Mia with it. I don't think that a lady in the position she was in, waiting for her trial to come up, and waiting to be vindicated, in her words, not mine, that she probably should have played it a little bit nice. But I'm thinking, clearly she truly expected everything to go a different way. I'm not really sure what way that was. Like, I don't know. And that's what I'm going back to. She just she just absolutely could not have remembered anything that had taken place. And she must have got everybody else on the same bandwagon, because Ray also, is spewing out that he believed she would be vindicated. That is the word they are using, not me. Exonerated and vindicated are the words that those two are using. And we know at this moment in time, that's not true. You probably should have been a little bit more nice. You probably should have been more humble. You probably should have given more grace. That is, I feel like that's the word of the day is grace. Give grace, give grace. And the reason why you give grace is because you don't know when you need some. And when it's time, you're going to want it. You know what I'm saying? It's time, you're going to want it. So, what are your thoughts on that? Jump down in the comments. Let me know. Do y'all think that this is true? Is Karen Huger officially done and walking away from the Real Housewives of Potomac? And is she going to do it in a way where it is her leaving? I said this in a previous video also, where Carlos King, Kingdom Reign Productions, right? And then Bravo TV, Andy Cohen, and the Housewives, they all have a different formula to how they go into their reunions. And on Carlos King's end, they film the reunion and they film it way before they get to the end of the season. And in addition to that, they don't get to see any of the episodes that are to come after they film the reunion. And Sunni is the person. Sunni went live last night on her YouTube, and I checked in, okay? And I was able to ask her a question. She highlighted my question and she answered my question. So shouts out to Sunni for that. I kept it nice and cute, because Sunni, I am not the biggest fan of Sunni. And that's so I'm about to say, it's kind of hard if you go into somebody's live and you kind of not feeling them all that much. Now listen, I don't know Sunni from a can of paint. I've only seen her in these episodes that she's been on Love and Marriage Huntsville. However, her introduction to us was messy, and her response with the introduction was even messier. And so it just caused me to just really kind of have a side eye for her and a distaste, honey. Like, she left a bad taste in my mouth. And so with that, when I got on her live, because I'm definitely about to listen and see what you got to say, honey. But when I got on it live, I wanted to make sure that whatever comments or questions I was leaving, that I could be respectful about it. I didn't want to put her in attack mode because she is defensive enough. And so I don't need her getting defensive with me, because I don't even know this girl and she doesn't know me. And we need to keep it cute, because there's some questions that maybe people want to know. And as long as you keep it cute, you might get the answer. So shouts out to Sunni, and I'll go ahead and we'll get into that in a little bit. But again, going back to Karen Huger, what is it? Do we believe this? Is Karen going to do the exit? Is she trying to put out a fire before it starts? I think Karen's character does display this character of not wanting to be held accountable. And here's the thing about everybody in the world having an opinion about you being held accountable. That's got to be a lot of pressure, because generally, if this had happened as the previous one happened off camera, you wasn't a Real Housewife of Potomac, only your friends in the town knew, you can navigate that a little easier. It's hard to navigate this type of embarrassment when the whole world knows it, right? And now you have to save face in front of the whole world. And Karen does not give me, as much as she gives us this poised position, she does not give me a person who's able to stand held accountable with this amount of attention. That's why you be careful what you ask for, because with the good comes the bad. You get on a reality TV show and you do have to deal with opinions of from people who don't know you, from people who don't know all of your story. You only know what you see. My opinion is coming from that also. I do try to look at everything with the way that I would want to be treated, or with how I would deal with a person in my real life. So I do try to take it and adjust what I'm watching to some form of reality, right? But but hey, the reality is you got to be judged by a bunch of people who don't know you, you don't know them, and maybe you care about their opinions a little too much, and I think that's the part that will cause you to retreat and stick your head in the dust, in the dirt, until it all settles. And so we shall see. I'm looking forward to that. I was actually looking forward to hearing her have a statement when she comes out of rehab, and I was looking forward to possibly Andy Cohen having a one-on-one so we can hear what she has to say. Now, Wendy and all the girls who've been asked about the reunion, they all state that while Karen was not there physically, she was there. So what that indicates to me is that the girls did have a conversation about Karen, and it probably wasn't the best, right? I'm sure that Wendy and Giselle, and Ashley, I'm sure that they tried to keep it as cute as they could, but we know Giselle and Wendy gonna say what they want to say, what they gotta say, and it doesn't always go over well with Karen or other people. So that's going to be interesting, as this whole thing unfolds. So I don't know when an official announcement will be made, if one is to be made, because again, that statement, it looks like something that somebody just made up. It's not quoted, so it doesn't seem like it actually came from anybody in Karen's management camp. So I'll show you this. As Karen was entering rehab, this is the statement that we got um, on that day. And as you notice, it's quoted, right? So it sounds like they got it from her, or want somebody in her team, like it was approved to go out and be all over the internet. This one, however, is looking a little shady and shifty. However, it does fit the narrative, right? It fits the narrative. Do I think Karen would exit? I didn't think so. I thought she would be fired. I did not predict her making the exit herself, because I think this is some easy money. And if all you have to do is kind of own up to something, ain't that easier to do? But maybe not for somebody like Karen. So, yeah, she's going to go away, give y'all a year or two, pop back on the scene, and hope y'all forgot about everything she did. Also, the other thought that I had was just like, I actually don't want to see her quit. Um, I don't want to see her quit. I feel like if she quits, then it's kind of satisfying a eviler like power or something. um yeah, I feel like, and I'm not a person that like to put God in things, and especially things we know are creating some other type of drama. Like, I'll get into what Sunny had to say, so you'll get to what I mean by that. But this is what I do want to say, is that I think when times get hard, right, when you find yourself, I'm supposed to be on Do Not Disturb. Hold on, y'all. I am supposed to be on Do Not Disturb all day long, okay? Because ain't nothing going on in this house but MLK Day. I just want y'all to know. Anyhow, um, so just in general, in life in general, things happen, right? Things happen. Not all the time are you prepared for them to happen. Not all the time did you plan for them to happen. So when strife comes and when difficulty come, I think the way you navigate through that and get to the other side kind of shows you a lot about yourself. And then once you kind of come through the other side, you kind of can have some revelation about how you got there, right? And about everything that got you there. So while I don't think everything that happens to people, of course, is not something that that's God's will, but what happens, like God says, He takes what's bad and can turn it around and make it good. So when bad things happen, if you can navigate, if you get through, if you keep grace in your faith, then you can turn that bad thing around and make it good. And that's kind of what was looking for from her, is wanting and having that type of tenacity, is being able to kind of go ahead, take care of your health, take care of your mental state, get yourself in a healthy place so that when you come back, you can turn that thing around. But it seemed like we might not get that opportunity, right? She might not give us that. And I wonder, going back to the timing of her entering rehab, the fact that the week before we got the notice that she had went to rehab, that she made a statement that said, "I'm not sobriety." So that kind of, I wonder if her tune has changed in that, from that statement to what it is she's going through now. And I just would have liked to see her just come out on top. Right now, just if she quits the show, it just feels like she's tucking her tail in between her legs and kind of, moseying on the way. And that's not a good look for the Grand Dame and nobody else. Okay, so take that. Like, don't nobody own up to your stuff. And like I said, while it's hard, and most times it would be easier if she wasn't a public figure and if she could deal with that just with her own community and just with her own family. But that's not the case, That's not the case. You are on television, and here we are. So that brings me to the fact that Sunni went live last night. Sunni Minx, I don't know if that's her actual last name, but Sunni Minx is her YouTube channel name. And of course, Sunni is on Love and Marriage Huntsville. She is married to Moses, which is Destiny's ex-boyfriend. And Moses is currently incarcerated. So what I thought the funniest thing was, honey, is I thought that Sunni going live and right underneath having her Cash App so she can put money on Moses's books. I thought that was the funniest thing in the world, because of course that's what you need money for. And I feel like, and I'm a little embarrassed for her for that, because she got a whole lot of smoke for Destiny, a whole lot of smoke about I'm the wife. And that's the only thing she got, right? Because you dating a womanizer, you married a womanizer, but I'm the wife. And yet, y'all whole first year of marriage, he had to go back to prison. She also did confirm on that live, she confirmed that it was a choice, right? So he was on probation. He knew that he was violating his probation. Someone asked the question, did she think that Destiny turned him in? And so she kind of said, that could be possible. But in my thoughts, see, here's what we're not taking accountability. Even if you thought Destiny turned him in, like, of course you would go to that because Destiny don't like you, right? And Destiny certainly don't want him, don't like him. But this is my thing. If you hadn't showed up in Huntsville, Alabama to film on this show, then there would be no need for anybody, Destiny or anyone otherwise, to have turned this man in and said that he wasn't in the state he was supposed to be in. This is the next thing that tells me this is not a union that God put together, because That was a choice that y'all made. He didn't happen to, like, y'all get married and then he just happened to have to go to prison for some other reason. Like, no, he's been on parole and probation this whole time. That is the reason why he was not on the show with Destiny. Destiny just didn't put his business out there like that. We didn't find that out until he was sitting down with Maurice and was chronicalizing his time that he has spent in jail or in prison. And it's been a long time. So with that, my little handy dandy notebook put two and two together, and I'm like, okay, so now this makes sense why Destiny was always traveling to St. Louis and that he didn't come to the reunion, right? Because they filmed the reunion in Los Angeles. So that makes sense why he did not show up to the reunion. It makes sense why Destiny was always flying to St. Louis to go and see him, and not having him come to Huntsville. And not for nothing, that's a chick that you should have wanted on your side, not the chick that was like, okay, baby, we're going to go to Huntsville together, even though you breaking your probation, and the punishment for breaking your probation is that you go back and serve the rest of whatever time that is. Now, I don't think it's a smart decision. Like that's a problem with Sunni. She has this way of answering questions like, well, what's wrong with you? No, girl, what's wrong with you? What is wrong with you? That, like, if he had a year and a half left on parole or probation, and after you get done with probation, right, you all done. You don't have no parole. You don't have nothing else left. But you got to just report to this probation officer for this year and a half. Stay in the state that you on parole in for this next year and a half, right? And you all good. Yeah, don't make sense that you would do something that would violate the parole or the probation and then send yourself back to prison to serve out that time. And now you coming and telling everybody else, like, well, we chose to do that. So that way, when he get out, he ain't got to worry about reporting to nobody and he ain't got to do X, Y, and Z. Well, if he just would have stayed his tail in St. Louis for the time frame anyway, he didn't have to worry about it either way it go. He didn't have to worry about it either way it go. I said it from the beginning, and I did say it on her live. Now, I don't know if she caught that because, again, it was a little shady, and she probably didn't want to read it. But what I did say is Moses found a come up in Sunni. And when I'm saying a come up, like, she might take it as, well, right, because they getting businesses together, they done got married, they doing IVF. Like, she looks at herself like she's this boss chick, right? And it's okay. I'm a boss chick, you a boss chick. We all boss chicks out here. But the only way you're able to prove that you're a boss chick is to have something behind it, right? And so with that being said, it's like, girl, y'all literally was scraping the bottom of the barrel for somebody to know who y'all were. That's not boss. Those are not boss moves, okay? Scraping the bottom of the barrel so that we can know who you are. It's not a boss move at all. And again, for me, it explained why Destiny, just didn't have no parts of it. And so I'm giving Destiny the props for whatever, however way that relationship came to an end. What it sounds to me like is she separated herself from him because what she said is he wanted her to chase him. He wanted her to make him feel like he was the prize. Yeah, I'm supposed to make a man feel like he the prize when he can't even leave his state. Where they do that at? Oh, over in Sunnyvale. Because clearly that's what Sunni did, which I already said. Sunni has low self-esteem. And it's, and this is the thing women need to really check about having low self-esteem. You can be gorgeous. You can have a banging body. Like all you can have money in the bank. All of these things can be right, and you can still be operating with low self-esteem because the decisions that you make, and especially where it comes to the men or your partners that you choosing and being with, like that is the biggest. Like if you got high self-esteem or if you got low self-esteem. Because if you choosing somebody who is not even on your level, number one, and when I'm talking about being on your level, I don't even mean that he got to be bringing the same amount of money. Like I'm not talking about finances, right? Like everybody had their ups, everybody had their downs, and it's okay. Like if you meet somebody and they have drive potential and maybe they've been through some things, right? It's okay for you to get with that person and say, okay, we're going to build together. We're going to work together. That's the narrative that Sunni is throwing out, right? With her and Moses' relationship. It's like we found each other. We fell in love. We had the same ideas. That man was telling you and feeding you the same crop of corn he was feeding Destiny. It's a reason why Destiny left that mess where it was. And that's what you should have been concerned about, Miss Sunny. But baby, I got a feeling Moses about to drag her through the mud. And I just want to know, since they're not coming back on Love and Marriage Huntsville, thank you, Jesus, for that. But I just want to know if she gonna share that. I want to know if she gonna get on YouTube and spill all that out when Moses play you. Cause she said that out her mouth. That's when I got off the live, is when she's like, when she started going in on Destiny, not having a storyline, had not had a storyline the whole time she'd been on. That's factual. We can tell Sunny did work on the show, but we can tell she was in the comment section also, because that's what the complaint was about Destiny throughout the comments, is that she just really wasn't sharing anything of herself. And again, now we do know why it's a little too late, and it should have come out of Destiny's mouth, but now we know why we didn't see this man that she was dating, because he couldn't leave the state of St. Louis. She was dating an ex-convict, and maybe she was embarrassed about that too. Maybe she was embarrassed about that too. It's like you went from this one guy, which currently her ex-husband was just picked up by Huntsville police and arrested on a DV charge. I don't think it's with her. I think it's with whoever it is he happened to be dealing with. So here we go again with, that's another layer to Destiny's story. Destiny has a lot of trauma and she doesn't seem very open, which that's the reason why you can't go on a reality TV show if you are not willing to talk about some things. Maybe you don't have to give out all of your personal business. Maybe you can hold some things close to your chest. But in order to make your existence on this show make sense, you do need to say some other things too. It was just this season that we got to see Destiny with her dad, and we got to really hear the story of her dad coming to get her from the foster home. We should have heard that back in season 1, girl. Like, why we didn't hear that then? And same with Moses. Once you came back and you divorced from this man, didn't give us any information about that. The one thing she told us was that he didn't cheat on her. So it didn't have anything to do with him cheating, even though Tiffany came in and seemed to debunk that. But fine, if it wasn't cheating, the fact that 3 years later, here it is, he's being picked up in Huntsville on a DV charge, that would say to me that he was probably doing some craziness at the house. Maybe not actually to the extent of DV, but maybe some things that Destiny was able to pick up on and pick her up and got on up out of there. I'm not mad at Destiny for recognizing a red flag and getting her and leaving. Because that's what you got. That's what you're supposed to do. Like, ladies, when you seeing these red flags, you don't stick around. You don't stick around for the damn light to come on. Like, you see the flag, get the other way. And so that's where, like I said, I'm really I don't, I wish the best for Sunni and Moses, but just following the storyline, following the thread, Moses about to run this girl through the mud. And whatever money it is she do have, he ain't gonna leave until it's all gone. He's not leaving until it's all gone. You are literally cash apping and you doing these lives so you can send him money on his books. When if he would have stayed his raggedy tail in St. Louis, you could use that money and y'all could be buying up property and doing something with this business. Don't this man got a whole logistic business? So now everybody else got to run it while he go spend the next year voluntarily in prison? No. Go feed that to somebody else. It's a no. It's a no. An absolute no. So what I was able to do with Sunni though, I was able to ask her a serious question. I really wanted to know why it is she joined the show, because when I got in on the live, she was going in on Trisha, right? She was going hard for Trisha. And don't get me wrong, I don't like Trish either. Or let me take back, I don't like her because I don't know these people. And because I don't know them, I don't like what we see, right? I don't like the character portrayal of Trish on this show. She seems nervous every time she speaks. She kind of had this animosity or this energy for Melody in Saturday's episode that seemed off balanced. Like it seemed like you had the wrong energy for the wrong person, but took it out on her. I don't know if that has to do with feeling like everybody else around all kind of have their own little problems with Mel. And so it's just easier for you to take that aggression out on her. But it was off balance because the problem she has with Mel, it didn't deserve the energy she was given, right? Maybe you just mad at your life. And for that, you got to do something your own self. Like you got to do something about that your own self. You can't be going around cussing everybody out. What they say, bleeding on everybody who didn't cut you. Yeah, you can't do that, girl. But let's go ahead and get into, I'm gonna just play it. I'm not able to share it, but oh, you know what? I am telling a story. I forgot how to do this, but let me pull up the video file really quick so we can go ahead and we can get into what Sunni had to say. We can get into what Sunni had to say. So the question that I asked her was, why did she join the show? Didn't she expect to have some negative energy? And the reason why I asked her that question,
in our faces, it's ridiculous.
Let me pause. I didn't mean for it to come up that quick. The reason why I asked her that particular question, for me, it was because, like I said, she has all of this energy for Trisha, and then she has a lot of energy for Destiny. And she's very demeaning of Destiny and demeaning of Destiny's position in the relationship with Moses, which says to me that you're letting Moses feed you this information and you're taking whatever he has to say at face value, which he has proven himself to be the dishonest one. And that's not just proven by what Destiny had to say. That's proven by the fact that he breaks the law. You know what I'm saying? Like that's somebody that is untrustworthy. I don't put it any kind of way. Shit does happen, right? People get in trouble. They don't mean to. But then there's sometimes when they do mean to, like purposely leaving the state that you are currently paroled to when you know you're not supposed to. That's breaking the law. That's making a choice to do that. So that ain't somebody you really can trust. And I don't care what the reason was, but he got her to believe it. Anyhow, so like I said, because she displays all of this energy that way, I just really wanted to know what her expectation was when she joined a show that her current husband's ex was a part of. What is it that you thought this girl was going to do? Come give you a hug? Here we go. Let's get into it.
In our faces, it's ridiculous. Can I ask you a serious question? Why did you join the show? Did you expect negative energy? So, of course, I expected some controversy, right? I mean, the whole thing was a controversial subject. Of course, I expected it. Did I expect for people to damn me to hell and tell me they wish they would all these crazy things would happen to me? A little harsh for me, I thought. Being that it was a on and off again girlfriend, boyfriend, a girl was just married like a year ago. Like, I didn't think it would be to the level of it that it was. And we joined the show because, at that point, it was already out there. We felt like, hey, we want to be able to defend ourselves and tell our truth without somebody else spinning this narrative. And my husband was like, I'm going to go on there and protect you. And I'm going to go on there and say it was my decision. It wasn't you. You wasn't doing anything out the way. So that's why we decided to go.
Okay, so that was the answer. She moved on to whatever comment you see below on her screen. So that was her answer about why she joined the show. But as a fan of Love and Marriage Huntsville, let's just say this. Nobody cared. Nobody knew who either one of these people were. We knew who Destiny was, but we didn't know who Moses was because, again, he was never shown on the show. And now we know why, because he was on probation and could not leave the state of St. Louis. But also, at that point, Destiny hadn't been on the show. So, like, literally, nobody cared. And when they came on, like, to say, well, my husband said, we're going to go on and defend ourselves. Like, do we see what he did as defending her? Do we see what he did as protecting her? I really feel like y'all could have stayed where y'all was. And don't you know that this girl that they are still planning to go to Huntsville? They still planning to move to Huntsville. And for me, it seems antagonizing. Like, even like, let's say all things are true, right? All things are true. Him and Destiny parted. Y'all happen to meet. Y'all happen to fall in love with each other very quickly, got married within 90 days. Now y'all living in bliss. You going to do IVF, which you started before y'all got married. She is sure to let us know that over and over again. But all these things is true, right? And everything is going great. Why would you go and move in a town where this man's ex lives? Like, doesn't that seem a little bit like you barking up the wrong tree? Like you asking for some type of back and forth, you asking for some type of drama. Even like, let's just say you not even on TV. Let's say they never did come on the show and they just just moved on into Huntsville. Like, why would you move? Like, you're not there with them. So why would you move somewhere and purposely antagonize this man's ex? And if he is pushing you to move there, why aren't you questioning that? Like, because that's what it feels like to me. It feels like Moses is the one that is pushing this train. And Sunni is going along for the ride because she has low self-esteem and she's never been in a relationship with someone who is giving her the attention that she has. And especially now, especially now that man is in prison for the next year and a half or whenever it is he gets out. Because now they are connecting in this way because he's in prison and he don't have anything else to do but call her and make plans and say what's gonna happen when he get out. So she's got all the feels. She feeling like she number one, and you are number one, huh? The number one fool. Forgive me, but that's how I look at it. The number one fool, honey. But be number one. Like, be number one. Lady, I just be so embarrassed by us. Like, I got secondhand embarrassment from her situation. Like, girl, you got to have a little bit more for yourself. You should want more for yourself. Who waits until they're in their mid-30s, early 40s to marry somebody who in and out of prison? Who does that? Who waits until they in their mid-30s early 40s to marry someone who got drama with an ex-girlfriend. Girl, have you not been in any relationship at all? Because that's stuff that I feel like you ignore and sign up for when you in your 20s. You know what I'm saying? Like you ignore all of that. Like you get with somebody and he talking crap about his ex and you listening to it. So now everything he's saying to you, you regurgitating to whoever will listen, including the ex, you know, about what is being said to you. That's you go through in your teens and your 20s. Okay. But you don't wait till you middle aged to get with a man who got you going through this drama with his ex. Girl, is anybody there? But then, like, did you check out the way she was reading my comment though? And that's what I'm saying. She had that type of energy, like you reading the comment, like I'm dumb for asking. No, you dumb for being on my screen, girl. Like, why are you here? Why? Why are you here? And yet, everything she has to say about Destiny is to demean her. Oh, she was just a side chick. Anyway, she was flying back and forth. See, that's the thing. How you get with a man whose character treats a woman like that? How you got a man, how you take this man in as your husband and then you put God all in the middle of it like God brought y'all together and this man is a certified womanizer? Out your own mouth, you have admitted that because everything she telling Destiny is like, well, he was dating several women. Don't you know the definition of a womanizer? Think, girl. But again, that's classic low self-esteem. And clearly maybe it's her career because she's not like, and ugly, pretty, those things don't have anything to do with it. Like you come across these men, womanizers are womanizers. They're gonna womanize anybody that allows them to. Okay. Anybody. So you can look like anything. You can have anything. A womanizer is just that, a womanizer. But the very definition of a womanizer is a person who has multiple partners. That is the definition. So how is it that you meet this guy who running all over with all these women and then you let him convince you that it's you, that you the one? Oh, that's right, because you were so willing to do all of this other negative stuff. You was willing to believe everything he had to say about Destiny. You was willing to leave illegally the state of St. Louis because she from St. Louis also. Okay. She has no reason to be in Huntsville either. She doesn't even work for production anymore and had not. So that is why he chose you, because you're gullible and you willing to do these things that maybe Destiny looks to me, because she always talking about she got that big D energy, right? It looks to me she put a stop to it. I feel like me and Destiny got energy kind of the same because it's a no dog. And if I decide to date somebody who happens to be on parole, I'm not gonna go out of town with him. Like, no, we're not gonna do that. You're not gonna tell me that it's okay for you to go out of town when I know that's a violation to your parole. And if I care and love you, and if we in this relationship, I for doggone sure don't want you to go to jail. Because one thing I'm not doing, I did it once in my life. It's not happening again. I'm not going back and forth to the jail to go visit nobody. You know how violating it is to go visit somebody in a jail? You know the way they got to put their hands all over you and tell you what you can wear and this, that, and the third, all in your beard. No, ma'am. No, sir. Count me out. Count me out. I did it one time with one person and let that person know it ain't happening again. I'm not that girl. I'm not the jail chick, honey. I'm not the girl. I got 3 sons. Now, this one ain't got none. But, you know, like, I'm not the girl that's going to make my money and then I'm coming to put it on your books. I'm not that girl. I'm not that girl. So if I meet somebody who on probation, you got to do everything in your power to make sure you stay on that probation, okay? Because if you violate, then I'm violating and I'm out of here. See, that That's somebody with some standards, okay? With some standards. And you got to step up to them too. Because like I said, people make mistakes. Now, I'm not trying to down him for whatever it is that got him in trouble. Stuff happens. But it's all about what you do, like how you bounce back for it and the choices you make after that. If you still making these silly choices, you are not the man for me. But if that's the man, that is the man that God sent you. We fell in love, girl. Your self-esteem is in the toilet. And that man is about to run you through the mud. He is about to take you for every dime you thought you had, every dime you trying to get, and every dime you are going to have. And like I said, I'm just wondering if she going to be so willing to share that information when it happened. Because trust and believe, it's already happening because he's not able to produce anything. He's in prison. He's not able to produce anything. So everything that she making, she got to give it to him anyway. She didn't even give him an opportunity to come in and show who he was to her. That's low self-esteem. And again, the energy that she come with, Destiny, I'm the wife. Honey, that don't mean a damn thing. You the wife to this man who can't follow the rules? Girl, bye. You a wife to this man who you got to pay his way while he in jail? Girl, bye. Be his wife. He gonna need one. He gonna need one, honey. Girl, listen to it again. Why she? That's what. Like, just listen to her.
Faces, it's ridiculous. Can I ask you a serious question? Why did you join the show? Did you expect negative energy? So, of course, I expected some controversy, right? I mean, the whole thing was.
So here it is. She expected controversy. Like, that's my point. They knew exactly what they was going to do. They went to antagonize Destiny. That is low self-esteem. That is operating with low self-esteem. Because what female is going to do that to another female?
A controversial subject. Of course I expected it. Did I expect for people to damn me to hell and tell me they wish they would all these crazy things would happen to me? A little harsh for me, I thought. Being that it was a on and off again girlfriend, boyfriend, a girl was just married like a year ago. Like, I didn't think it would be to the level of it that it was. And we joined the show because, at that point, it was already out there. We felt like, hey, we want to be able to defend ourselves and tell our truth without somebody else spinning this narrative. And my husband was like, I'm going to go on there and protect you. And I'm going to go on there and say it was my decision. It wasn't you. You wasn't doing anything out the way. So that's why we decided to go.
Yeah, so he didn't protect her during their time on that show. During his, I think he might have been featured on there 4 times before somebody said something. Now, maybe it was Destiny, honey. Maybe Destiny said, come get your boy. Maybe it was, because he did not finish the whole season. And it happened pretty quickly. So somebody did drop a dime on the guy. If he didn't drop his own dime. Because he's the thirsty one. Like, and you see, as soon as he got with this girl, here y'all come over to Huntsville. And like I said, she is talking. So let's just go ahead. We'll go ahead and get into the rest of it. I got another one. It might still go back into this question, but I recorded for a little bit of time after that. And so we'll listen to the rest of what she had to say about that, about these things. And let's just dissect that. I mean, listen, I'm here for the lives though, and I guess she'll tell a little bit more as far as production goes, when she's up from contract, and of course after the reunion and everything. Oh, excuse me, guys. And I'm gonna listen. I'm here for listening to what it is a person got to say. Now, whether I agree or not is a whole nother, subject. But I'm here for listening.
Me to
And
hell
I think
and
when you
tell me
are
they wish.
able to listen, I think when you are able to listen to other people's point of view, like how we say, it's three sides to every story. It's your side, her side, and the truth. And when you are open and you're able to listen to what everybody has to say, you actually can find the truth out, even if a person ain't laying it out for you. That's what I'm saying. Like Destiny did not say anything about her life. Destiny did not, even though on the reunion she did say, and she was kind of irritated at Carlos about it. She said she filmed other things, but it wasn't shown. That's probably true also. That's probably true also. But here's what we can say for sure. Anytime Destiny was in a scene with one of the other ladies, she was not talking about herself. And then she would, when the ladies would try to ask her, like who she was dating, what's up, she was very tight-lipped about it. She was not giving them anything. And so for that, like it is what I think Destiny, and she probably gets it now, right? Because Carlos then went around her back and did his messiest move ever. But what she realized now is that you are going to have to give them something. And if you don't give them something, they might bring it to you, right? Like going to find your ex-boyfriend who married your producer and bringing them on the show. So now you ain't got no choice. You're going to talk about something. You don't want to talk about what's going on in your life. Let's bring this drama to you. And so that's what it was. But let's go ahead. I think this is going to be, I'll pause it and come back in when we get a little past it. But let's just see what else what else it is Sunny had to say. I'm trying to make sure I fast forwarded past my question part. And I guess, like, I don't know, what do y'all think about her response to why they joined the show? Like, again, it feels antagonizing. Like I don't know why this is the show you wanted to go on. I don't know. It feels low budget, low vibrational, low self-esteem. Like it's nothing, there's nothing operating in the higher realm for me that's represented. Like that's all like down in the gutter, you know what I'm saying? Like type of behavior. That's to me, that's just my opinion. Y'all tell me what y'all think though. Like, do you agree with Sunny showing up with the husband, and wanting to move to Huntsville, knowing that Destiny is there and that she was on this show first? I mean, what do y'all think? Am I wrong about that?
Somebody else spinning this narrative. And my husband's like, I'm gonna go on there and protect you. And I'm gonna go on there and say it was my decision. It wasn't you. You wasn't doing anything out the way. So that's why we decided to go. Do you think Dusty snitched on Moses? Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. It's possible, allegedly. I mean, what would be the best way to get somebody back? Put his ass in jail. Ha ha ha.
Now, see, this is what I'm saying. Like you say, well, and then the girl calling the lady Dusty Pope, baby. But like she said, well, what's the best way to get back at somebody? Well, he could have stayed his tail in St. Louis. I mean, like, I don't understand that. I don't understand how people like do that. Like, yeah, it never had to be a thing because he never had to be in Huntsville. Let's go.
Allegedly. But this reunion is coming up soon.
Let me tell y'all something while I was screen recording. Y'all gonna see me make some, like, y'all gonna see me type out some comments and then I'm gonna take them back. Because again, while I don't care for Sunny, when I'm on somebody's live, like it's not my intent to go in and be nasty to people. But I want to say what I want to say in the most respectful way. So you're gonna see me typing out stuff and then erasing it because I'm like, maybe I'll leave it alone. But let's just get into it.
I'm out here still promoting y'all. This reunion is coming up soon. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. I wish I could redo the reunion. Because, you know, we tend to film it halfway through the season. So all this other half, we're not privy to seeing the edits or, you know, how it comes together. So we don't get to talk about, we see some of that, but we don't really know, like, you know what I'm saying? It's not fresh. Like you just watched it. We didn't get to watch it ourselves. Like how you guys are watching it. You know what I mean? So I would have loved to been able to.
Well, I'm gonna erase that comment and say that's Bravo's budget. Okay, they on a different budget. And here's the thing: Carlos King messy as hell. So I think that's how he ended up keeping the mess up. So like, and having something to come back and film very quickly. Because if you get the show going on social media, then social media is kind of predicting the narrative for the next season. That's a mess move.
To watch the whole season play out and then do the reunion and be like, but I'm be honest with you, it's coming up and I can't wait to talk about it and what I saw and what I felt about everything that I saw. And child, exhausting. They are a bunch of. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you, boo. Yes, that is an opinion. What's the reunion? Always incomplete. Yeah, I mean, I don't know exactly why they do it early like that. I'm not sure. I haven't really asked anybody. But it's exhausting. Let me see something. So that's why I'm on here now addressing a few things because, you know, like, you don't know how that stuff is cut until you see it. It says, hey, Sunny. Hey, Sunny. Like that.
I must have cut it there. Is it done? Let's see.
Damn me to hell and tell me they wish.
Okay, so we done with that. Hold on, y'all. I gotta answer this. Okay, sorry, y'all. That was my son calling. I had to get on that call. How do you silence these doggone calls? Like, what I thought do not disturb included the phone calls. Somebody jump in the comments and tell me if you know how. So yeah, that I guess that was all. I thought I had more of that, but you see how long it takes to even get that far. So yeah, that is what Sunny had to say. Let me see. That is what Sunny had to say about them joining the show. She does think that Destiny dropped a dime on Moses. She doesn't. So, with that being said, she doesn't think that it was Moses' actual actions that landed him back in prison. Because that's the thing about it. Like that goes for everybody. Anybody on probation, parole, whatever. You can't leave your state. And so I don't like. So for her, she blames it on Destiny, and it's not Moses who. And you heard her say it was his idea, right? It's his idea. That's why I said Moses found a come up, girl. Moses found a come up, and a damn fool at that. Excuse me. Sorry, Sunny. Sorry. But every time, the more and more that she tries to make it make sense, it's like the dumber you sound to me, right? To me. And that's just because I love, like, ladies, I love us. I want us to be smart. I want us to find men that respect and love us the way that we were created to be, where we can be in our softness, we can be bosses, we can make boss moves, so you can get in boardrooms and make contracts, but then you can come home and you got a man you can be soft with. That you didn't get no man like that. You got a man that's got you working for him. Girl. And see, one thing about Destiny, she might have other issues like abandonment. She might have like those type of wounds and scars from her not having her mom. But the fact that her dad raised her, she is not confused about how a man is supposed to show up for her. Now, it doesn't mean she not gonna pick the wrong man, because we all do from time to time, because men can be wolves in sheep's clothing, honey. Like I said, she flat out said that this lady, she ain't do nothing on TV but get played by men. That's the man you married. That's the man you married. So yeah, that's not a flex. Like, that's not a flex because you didn't get a prize, girl. You got somebody's leftovers. Honey, let me get a name for them. You got somebody's day old bread. That's what Moses is, day old bread. You got somebody's day old bread, and because you can make a toast, because you can make a sandwich with it, you think it's good. No, ma'am. Get you something fresh, okay? And then see what it's like. That day old bread, girl, you sitting up holding on to it. That damn, by the time you get up out of that prison, it's gonna have mold and everything all over it. Mark my words, y'all. Now, like I said, I don't know if we're gonna get to see it. But mark my words, that man is gonna run her through the mud. I already see it. It already started to happen. Like that's the thing. It already started to happen. Because you paying money on his books 6 months into your marriage. And it's not because something new came up. It's because he needed to be on television and he needed to show Destiny he got married, because that's what I think it was. She probably fell back. She fell back on him, and because he feel like he the prize, he found somebody who could take him in as quickly as he was looking. He hurried up and got his tail somewhere in Destiny's vicinity so that she could know. And so here we are. And like I said, Sunni, somebody go tell Sunni, dating a woman, not marrying a womanizer, not just dating one. Dating a womanizer is not a flex, and marrying one is even less of a flex. It's even less of a flex. Because what do you think womanizers do? Like, girl, she is delusional. That's what I mean by people being delusional. Instead of telling yourself the truth, and listen, people, we fall in love. We love the wrong men sometimes. Like I say, they come in, they talk a good game. You so tired of whatever you've been through that you just take it all in. And sometimes, and I'm not even talking about the time frame it took them to get married, because you hear people can know each other for less time and they stay married for a long time. I don't know. Those things don't have much to do with it as much as it does what is coming together, the two people that are coming together. And again, for her to flat out say, I want to pull it up on YouTube so I can let y'all listen, because it was like, and I jumped off that live right then and there because I didn't want to hear her say anything else. I did happen to put up a comment and I told her that I think she should give Destiny some grace. Like, that's the thing. That's probably why I'm so strong about me not really liking her, not caring for her that much. Because as this person who did get married, and again, you found love with that man, fine. Y'all got married, Cool, even better. You doing IVF cycles so y'all can start a family? Wonderful. Like, no, like, wonderful. We get it. That those are the things that women, like, that's what we look for. That's what we want to do. That's what the world told us we had to do, right? So the fact that you are in bliss because you found this place and you found it happening, nothing wrong with that. It's the fact that you would dog this girl out when you don't know her from a can of paint, and all you do know is what this man told you. And one thing I tell my girlfriends right now today, and I'm saying it on this YouTube live to anybody listening to it. One thing is a red flag, and you need to leave that man alone. If you are dating a man, married to, or with some man, which I don't get anyhow, you dating a man and this man is talking to you about any one of his exes. And when he's speaking to you about this person, he's dogging her out, like demeaning her in some type of way, calling her a side chick, kind of giving you this impression that there was something wrong with her, and like I said, just kind of downing her. Leave that man. Don't ever speak to him again. That's a huge red flag dating me. It can't no man come on my phone, sit in my face, and talk crap about no woman he done laid up with. Not ever. Not ever. And if you do, you out of here. Like, I don't have no room for it. I don't care what you're saying. And even if so, like, you might have people who had rough relationships, right? Like, and maybe like toxic relationships, right? So maybe there's toxicity on both, but that's the part. If he not telling you his toxic stuff and all he giving you is what she did, oh, she did this, oh, she this way, oh, she this way. No, 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 ma'am, no, sir. I'm not the one. Can't no man get on the phone and talk crap about another woman with me, to me. No, it's a no. I wouldn't be able to, we wouldn't get no further than that. So that says to me again, women who do that, women who listen to that, um, that's low self-esteem, low vibrations. Ain't that's the new thing, right? Low vibrational. That's low vibrational and it's low self-esteem. Because, baby, don't you know whatever he doing with that one, he gonna turn around and do it to you. So the next time, so if y'all don't work out, best believe when he going to the next one, you the one with the problem in the next one. And while you probably gonna know that by that time, let me just help you out. If a man is talking crap to you about one of his exes, like I said, you can't talk shit to me about somebody you done laid down with. You laid down with them. So if the most you can do while you trying to say what somebody else did, because what I'm more concerned about is how she get there. Now tell me what you did. Because I'm a woman before I'm anything else. I'm a woman before I'm a mama. I'm a woman before I'm your girl. I'm a woman before I'm anything. So now what I know is I know our anatomy. I know how we think. And what I know is ain't nobody wilding out on you and you doing everything perfectly fine. No, that ain't what happened. That ain't what happened. And so that's what I'm saying. Like a guy, sometimes girls get caught up in the fact that this guy is spewing his guts about this other woman. But if he's not telling you his part, it's a problem with that. It's a problem with that. That girl, Moses about to run that girl through the mud. That's all I got to say. He is a grade A womanizer that got married. And many of them do. He ain't the only one. Many of them do. But guess what happened? They run them girls through the mud. She goes, if she thought she was questioning her self-esteem before, baby, she gonna have to pick it back up, put it back together, and start over again. And that ain't fun in your 40s. Like, who waits till they 40 to have to rebuild their entire self-esteem? Yeah, girl, you's a damn fool. That's all I got. Let me get off Sunny, honey. Let me get off Sunny. We might get back to Sunny a little later because she might go back live again and I might have some more for her. I might go back in that live and go pull some more clips for y'all just so we can go and dissect this thing. Because what I like I said, I want us to do well. I am girl power, always have been. Always have been. And I am naturally drawn, just naturally drawn to I'm gonna use the term strong women, but what I mean is just like women who uphold themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like high. Like I'm naturally drawn to that. I'm naturally drawn to that energy. I don't know that low type of energy where you pedaling around in the trash for somebody else, man. I don't know that type of energy. I don't like it and I don't want it by me. I don't have time. I wouldn't even date somebody's guy if we was in the same circle. And so that's the thing that Sunni doesn't realize. That's the problem. What most of us is all seeing is that no matter what, how did you get to that point? Like, that's what I'm saying. Your self-esteem is low. I'm not pedaling around in the trash for somebody else's man. You can't, I'm not dating one of my girls' other old men. And yeah, you don't know this, that, and the third. Well, if I don't know, I ain't gonna know. Because if you've been pedaling around with one of my friends in my friend group, baby, don't you come sniffing over here. Don't you come sniffing over here, because I ain't got nothing for you. Get your own man. Get your own man. That is my suggestion. And I don't even want no type of man that somebody else feel like they can come and tell me about. Like, yeah, I don't, you can't, like, no, my standards too high. And I think I feel like I've operated in low self-esteem, right? So I know that the choices we make, that is going to tell you where your self-esteem at. The choices that you make, like, even though, couldn't nobody tell me at the time I was making these horrible decisions, right? Couldn't nobody tell me that I didn't love myself. Girl, bye. That couldn't have been further from the truth. You know, like, I was in my 20s though, okay? But like, that couldn't have been further from the truth. Now that I look back at this big age, it was like, girl, you didn't love yourself. And like, in the words of Ayanla, I had to apologize to myself. Like, I apologize for dishonoring my own self the way that I did by making the choices that I made. Because you're not responsible for what other people do. Like, him being a womanizer, that don't have nothing to do with Sunni, right? Don't have nothing to do with Sunni. But what I am saying is, it's going to have something to do with you, because now you done attached yourself to him in such a way that whatever he do and the way he move is about to affect you and your house. And if that man do you too bad, it's going to take everything from you. Everything from the inside. You know what I'm saying? It start off on the outside. He already getting all the money. So, you know, that go first. And then he gonna tear your self-esteem up even further. That's why I say, whenever he get done with her, she gonna have to rebuild her whole self. And I can't imagine doing that close to 40, honey. I can't go. It's a no for me. Absolute no. I just wish she had somebody around her. And like, I think that, so, and that's the clip we'll go find, or I'll go try to pull up. But I feel like with her joining the cast and then her having a semi-close relationship with Mel, I think that she feels like that relationship is what's giving her kind of like some clout, right? Because Mel is I guess co-creator, executive producer of the show, thus forth. And so I think she thinks her proximity to Mel and her being, like I say, I'm gonna say use the word close. I don't think she'll use the word close, but she did say they are building a relationship. But I feel like that is what fuels her to think that wherever she's at, that she's vibrating on this higher level than everybody else. And Mel has that type of energy, but Mel is vibrating higher than everybody else, right? Mel has made decisions that shows you that Mel love herself, honey, and she ain't about to let nobody come take that from her. See, that, so if she want to figure out how to get that energy, I guess she do need to hang with Mel a little bit more. But please, she needs to be clear about what she there to get so she can get it. Because your proximity to Mel don't mean you operating the same as her. And if Mel figure it out, baby, you ain't gonna be around her too long. Because one thing about Mel, she ain't keeping no losers around her. I'm just saying. I ain't calling nobody a loser. I'm just saying she ain't keeping those low vibrations around her, and I ain't mad at her for it. That's why people got a problem with her now. But if you know better, you do better, baby. If you know better, you do better. And one thing about intelligent women, when you are intelligent, you don't make the same mistake twice. You don't do it when you're intelligent. And it's the difference between being smart and intelligent. But when you intelligent, you ain't doing it twice. That hurt what I said. I did one bid with one person, and I ain't never doing it again. Not unless it's for one of these boys I pushed out of me. It got to be one of them sons I pushed out of me. It won't be for nobody else's son. Mark my words. Baby, you better know how to follow the rules. You better know how to keep yourself about that place. Mark my words, because I'm not the one, two, or the three. None of them. None of them. Let's move on to the next story I want to touch. Because again, make sure y'all subscribe. Okay, we doing the review for Real Housewives of Potomac and Married to Medicine, 2 p.m. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell notification. It's myself, Housewives from a Housewife. We will both be going live and we will do those reviews. The next story is Melody Shari, baby. So Sunni did, and I don't know if this was a slip because she made it came out so smooth that it feels like she dropped teeth. Okay. It came out so smooth. She says, she made the statement and said, if me and Mel decide to come back, and so that, like, of course, you know, we listening to a live, we like, bing, like basically you seem like you confirmed that Mel is possibly not coming back to Love and Marriage Huntsville. If you follow any of my past reviews about Love and Marriage Huntsville, I'm kind of already predicting that for Mel, and it's just based off of what's going on this season. Sunni did, however, drop a little bit more tea in addition to that, which she just said, like, Mel's energy this season is shifty with everybody, and the reason why is because she's a little upset at her friends, right? She upset with them because Martell got arrested on a DV charge, and yet that really has not been discussed, right? It seems like, and I feel like Love and Marriage Huntsville has this little unspoken bond between them, especially the Scotts, and where Marceau, Maurice, and Martell are concerned, it's some type of bond they have too, which is why Martell keep trying to threaten Marceau with whatever it is he know about him. But that's not the point. Going back to Mel. So Mel feels some type of way with these ladies. So what she was explaining, if you saw the episode this past Saturday, Mel came into the bachelorette party. And when Tisha asked her, like, did she want something to drink? You know, she was like, well, no, I just had pizza with the kids, or just went somewhere with kids, or she going somewhere with the kids, one or the other. Her point was, I'm not here for a long time. I'm just here for a good time. And so she was making it known that she was exiting on out. So she didn't really need nothing to eat or drink. She didn't need to be comfortable. She basically gonna let Nell show up. She gonna say her hellos, and she getting the hell up out of there. And part of that is because she is upset with her castmates about not holding Martell's feet to the fire about that DV charge that he was arrested on. And so with that being said, she dropped that tea in the live last night. I believe that. And today, Miss Melody Shari, look at her looking so beautiful, honey. Go, girl, you go. I wanted to give y'all the full picture. Yes, that's the full length. You go, honey. You know, Jay Bolin styles her. And I hope I can get famous to a point, or I ain't gotta be famous. I just want to make enough coin so Jay Bolin can style me. Okay. I haven't visited his I have not visited his website in quite some time, but he actually does have things that are affordable. Like if you wanted to shop his collection, but I want him to style me, honey. Tell me Melody not doing her thing. You go, girl. You go. But like I said, like this is my thing again with operating on high vibrations. It's not just how you present yourself. A lot of times it's the choices you make. It's the choices that you make. Um, Give me 1 second, y'all. My bad. Let me look. I texting my housewives with the housewife partner about if we gonna host the who gonna host the link. Okay, sorry, y'all. But what I was saying is not just about how you look, but of course, one thing I'm in the beauty business because that's what, like again, I want women to feel their best. I want them to operate in their best. So part of that, like when you look good, you feel good, and hopefully when you feel good, you're making some good decisions about yourself and about your life. Okay, that's how that all work in a circle. Okay. So yeah, sometimes pulling yourself up out the dumps, it do start with your outside, right? You got to start seeing yourself um as that baddie or whatever. But then you work on that inside too, because then you have to think like, why am I making the choices? In the words of Ayana, why am I dishonoring myself this way? Those are questions that we do need to be asked and be honest with ourselves about. But let's get to it. Okay, I'm gonna host the link. That's what we just getting working that out again, y'all. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell notification. We are going live with the recap for Real Housewives of Potomac and Married to Medicine at 2 p.m. today. Okay, I'm gonna probably be live all day today, though, just to be quite honest. But make sure y'all subscribed. Okay. Here's what I wanted to pull up. I wanted to pull up her caption. So if you see that caption, that's the caption that goes along with the photo, with that baddie photo she got. But Martin Luther King Jr. said, in the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends. What a word from the great. Thank you, God, for every revelation. Free, hashtag free myself, freed myself. Hashtag Melody Shari, hashtag standards, hashtag in the end, hashtag it is finished. Now, unless you're living under a rock, she can't be talking about nothing but love in Mira Huntsville. Of course, the marriage is over, and she's done a great job of setting her boundaries in that aspect about them not continuing to put her and Martell in the same scenes and trips together and film together. She has set that boundary and made it plain and clear that, hey, no harm, no foul. But if you invite him, just leave me off the guest list. Okay. If you invite me, leave him off the guest list. And so that seemed to be working. But like I said, according to Sunny's live last night. Now that was posted this morning. Okay. That was posted this morning. I was trying to see if the date would come up. Yeah, no, we don't have the date, but that was posted this morning, y'all. So like I said, I have no choice but to think that is a subliminal message that is kind of being an introduction to her exit, and really giving us giving us that small little corner of why. And I guess we might see it on the reunion also, because at this moment in time, the reunion has been filmed. Melody has unfollowed Carlos King. So I mean, the the reunion must be a doozy for a lot of people, because I believe those things have been those her unfollowing him was after they filmed that reunion. And look, say only Carlos King can see the followers. Look at him. Who was he following? Let's see if we can see Melody. So okay, so she doesn't come up on his, so that would say to me not the following. Okay, now we can't see his followers, but let me go over to Melody's page really quick. Let's see if we can see hers. So only Melody can see her followers. And even when you go through, like, you can, they'll show you, I don't know what that's about. They'll show you a list of them, but I like to be able to type it in. Let's see who she is following. Let's see, Carlos. Yeah, no Carlos King. So that was the rumor that had come out some weeks ago. That they were following each other. And like there was a rift. I believe with him doing his lives, I do think I can see that being a problem. Like, you are the executive producer. And so him getting on doing the lives, while it's fun for everybody else, I imagine it can't be that fun for the employees. For your employees, right? Like I wouldn't want to be, I wouldn't want that to happen, because it's different. Even though she's going, like, that show and these characters are going to be the subject matter for somebody, I don't think I want my boss on the show interviewing other people, letting them say different things, because of course he has to have a what you call it, like, by unbiased type of opinion. So he can't say he not supposed to, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, while you got all of this stuff going on your platform, it's just automatically gonna put you in a bad space with your talent. And I don't, like, he does an excellent job with the interviews, and when he does his exclusive interviews. And again, we love the lives, and we understand his connection to reality television and to the reality stars, right? So he has better access to being able to have the guest on his YouTube show. But like I said, I can't imagine that that's fun for any of his talent. And I think Melody Cherie feels a little bit, I'm gonna use the term, betrayed by him. And probably rightfully so. Because when they started this thing and they started it together, she probably expected him to just have some sort of protectiveness of her. And I think that he started off with that, right? He did. But Carlos is messy. The show is getting bigger. Of course, nobody is going to really walk away from success. Not him in this case, right? Because this is what he's been working for. He's been working to have a multiple of shows on, and especially on one network. And like, and then he cracks me up when he said, "We the number one show on the own network, baby." It wasn't hard to be the number one show on the own network, honey. I wish somebody would remind him of that. We was the own network was in the grave by the time Bell Collective and Love and Mirror Huntsville came out. Because wasn't nothing but Ayanna Fix My Life on there, and she had fixed all she could fix at that time. Even she was tired. So if it was not for Carlos King, OWN would be on the cutting room floor for real. But I love how but it's okay, because we gotta pump ourselves up. So it's the number one show on OWN. It's the number one show on OWN. Now, it wasn't hard to beat the number one show on OWN, but number one is number one. Ain't that what Sunny thinks? She the number one. I was about to say HOE, but I ain't gonna do her like that. She the number one stunner. Sunny is the number one stunner, honey. And number one is number one. That's what we learning, right? Long as you're not number two. You're number one, you're number one. But yeah, that caption, it feels like an exit, So I guess I think we have two more episodes with Love and Marriage Huntsville before the reunion. And I imagine the reunion is probably two parts. So we're looking at about another month roughly before we get to that end. I feel like even though her announcement is gracious because she's not saying I will no longer be a part of Love and Marriage Huntsville. So she's not making this official announcement, but it does seem like she is making a statement about an exit that is to come. And like I say, I've said it in previous reviews for Love and Marriage Huntsville. I think the writing on the wall for her. The writing's on the wall for her because she is leveling up in a way that is probably going a little bit beyond the show. And with the boundaries and with her relationships with everyone at the show and on the show, it's not much for her to do, right? Her and Nell kind of had a small little tidbit, and I can understand Mel just kind of being tired of it. It does. Mel is that figure. It's kind of like the Nene effect, right? Like everybody that comes on kind of want to come for her. And even though I don't see anybody necessarily coming for Mel, but what I do see is like everybody kind of want to have like a pickle with her, right? Like a pick or something. And I can see how that can get to be annoying because even for me, I don't see Mel bothering nobody. And that bothers people, right? When you ain't bothered by nobody and you just going off in your own space, I think people feel like they have to pick with you about it. And I feel like Nell, that probably really disappointed her a lot when Nell had that bone to pick with her about her calling her mentor and was saying like I didn't like when you kind of blew it off like I wasn't your mentor, and it made me feel like like she was dismissive of her. I think Nell was just wanting to be clear that when she said the term mentor, I don't think I had the same understanding either, especially if she's talking about during her relationship or her marriage with Martell and Nell and Chris Fletcher kind of being a married couple that was counseling them, right? Listening to their problems, even her and Mel, like she on the phone with Mel, probably crying to her. She might, have something to cry to Mel about. I mean, those are things that you do with your girlfriend. And with them being older than her, I could see the counsel, but I think mentor is a stretch because mentor to me, let me just say this. Let's go on and Google what mentor. Let's see what Google has to say about being a mentor and what the definition is. Okay. The definition of a mentor as a noun is an experienced and trusted advisor. Okay. As a verb, advise or train someone, especially a younger colleague. All right. So let's see what counsel. Let's see the difference. Because, yeah, like going back to what Mel had to say with Chris about Martell telling her she should talk to the older women, and his implication was that the older women would help her deal with his cheating better, right? Where she wouldn't have to get a divorce. Maybe in that case, that would be a mentor, right? You're gonna mentor me how to stay with my cheating husband. But I think that I think that Mel looked at her like counsel, and that is the way I would have took it also from what I saw of their relationship. Here's what Google has to say about counsel. Advice, especially that given formally. Okay, that's the first definition as a noun. Then the second definition is the lawyer or lawyers conducting a case. Of course, we know that there are two um, forms of using the word counsel. And then the verb is give advice to someone. Yeah, so Mel is correct. Nell was not her mentor, right? Because Mel already had her businesses. Mel was already doing her property preservation. She was already building her beauty brand. Like all of these things was already going. So yeah, Miss Nell, I'm sorry you didn't mentor this lady, but you did counsel her, which is what friends do for each other. You listen to your friend when they're going through something. Sometimes you give advice about what it is they're going through. But I do think that hurt Neil's feelings. But she seemed to just kind of press the issue, exaggerated. That she exaggerated that. And I feel like Neil is tired of it. And then again, going back to what Sunny just made very clear, was that she don't appreciate that the girls don't have her back, about Martell being arrested for DV. And I can understand that too, because where I will take up for Tisha, over the internet, because I think that there's nothing wrong with Tisha trusting her husband. Because when you marry to somebody, that's what you're supposed to do. And I don't see Sunny and Moses in that position, why I came for her in the way I did. But when it comes to Tisha and Marceau, even everything that we've seen on the television, um, he seems to be the husband that she wants. Maybe somebody else wouldn't feel that way, but he seems to be the husband that she wants. He seems to be the type of husband that I hear other women describe, as far as being a provider and those things. He might be chauvinistic. He is chauvinistic. There ain't no might about it. But however, he is not above changing. We've seen that on the show. He didn't want Tisha to work at first, and once she brought him, once he was able to see the value in what women bring, he changed his tune, and rightfully so. You know what I mean? Like, because people have ideas of what they think stuff's supposed to be, and it's okay to evolve from that. And at this moment in time, even though Martell is still hitting around to this man cheating on her, ain't nobody said nothing. Now, I feel like if it was true, then somebody would have been out and something would have been proven by now. The fact that it hasn't, I'm with Tisha. You stick with your husband, girl. Like, don't you let no rumor or some miserable person on the internet have you starting to question what it is you to pray for and got. So I don't have a problem with that, But like I said, with Mel, I think Mel is right to make that decision. And like I say, the writing is on the wall to me. And so her exit, I feel like we're gonna miss Mel, because it feel like if she leaves, it's not gonna be the same love and Mirror Huntsville, right? Especially for us that were with them from the beginning, But I would wish Mel nothing but success, and I still would follow what her journey is and what she doing. Girl, I went on that I went on 7th Avenue Beauty, honey, because I was trying to see like if I was gonna be able to get something, a beauty bundle or something from her. And baby, I think the body oil was like $79. That's a bit steep for my pockets for some body oil, child. I might have to put that on the wish list. Like if somebody want to give me some, then they can. Or if somebody want to help me get it and I do a review, then okay, something like that. Because I just started my business, honey. All my money is going to that suite. And I thought that maybe I was gonna spend a good $45. But that's 79. That 79 took me over. Anyway, but I'm sure it's good products. And if I get the opportunity to, I will order something and try it out. Because I'm supportive like that. I ain't got to know you. I'm about the people who selling something and I know them, and I'm about people like, if I like you, you know what I'm saying? I'm a support. Not that she need my little money, honey. She doing good, but I just want to see the product and see how it is. And the packaging looks good. I love body oil. That's something I use a lot of. I'm generally using what I stick to right now, which that's what I said, honey. I guess I got to stick to my little Palmer's, but I use Palmer's, honey, and some cocoa butter. You know, this nice brown skin, you got to keep it oiled up, and that Palmer's keep it together. But I did, like I said, I did want to try the body oil because I love body oils. However, it's a little bit steep, so maybe I'll get that soon. I don't know, in the near future. We'll see. For right now, I got to go ahead and end this live, guys. Thank you so much for chilling with me, letting me get through the current news of Real Housewives of Potomac, with wondering if Karen Huger is actually making an exit from Real Housewives of Potomac. We were able to discuss Melody Shari and her possible exit. Again, these are all alleged. This is all my opinion. And we also discussed Miss Sunni Minx, honey, and gave a little bit of tea. I'm gonna come back on later after we finish the Real Housewives of Potomac and Married to Medicine live. I'll jump back on probably an hour after that, and we can get on into something else to more this Sunni Minx. Maybe I'll get some more of her live. Of course, you can go find her live on YouTube under Sunni Minx. When I get done with her, I'll tag her in the description. And until then, I'll see you later. Again, happy MLK Day. That's what we celebrating over here, okay? And we're going to just talk about some more news in here, okay, guys? Thanks so much for joining me. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you hit the bell notifications, okay? Enjoy, y'all. I'll see y'all in about an hour.